Men spend a lifetime searching for love, but are we searching for the right things? Today on Men Talk 2, internationally renowned sexologist Dr. Ava Cadell, founder of Loveology University, reveals what men think they want versus what they truly need for lasting love, intimacy, and connection. This is a conversation every man and every woman should hear. Welcome to Men Talk 2.
Welcome back to Men Talk 2, where we have real conversations about what it means to be a man today, the truth, the struggles, the humor, the heart.
Yes, we are going to go where most men won't, from love and sex to purpose and identity. And today's show, it's all about what men think they want versus what they really need.
Well, to help us unpack that, we've got one of the world's leading experts on love, intimacy, human behavior, someone who's helped literally millions and millions of people connect more deeply with themselves and each other. Dr. Ava Cadell is a board-certified sexologist, therapist, and author with doctorates in human behavior and human sexuality. She's the founder of Loveology, I want to say that one right, University, and has been featured on The Doctors, MTV, VH1, and countless others. She's helped people around the world transform the way they think about love, intimacy, and connection.
Please welcome Dr. Ava Cadell to Men Talk 2.
And Ava, we are so glad to see you.
Thank you. What a nice intro.
We love it. I'm anxious to find out how I can go to that Loveology University. So carry on.
It's online. I can train you to be a certified love coach. I train people all over the world.
I'm ready.
What's that like? Explain that to me, how you do that.
Well, there's a very large curriculum. I actually started the university in 2007 when nobody had online universities. And I started it because after I got my PhD in human sexuality, there were a lot of topics that I wish I had. So I decided to create them. And then I actually manifested working with Tony Robbins, which did come to fruition. And he's known as the father of life coaching. And so he said that I was the mother of love coaching, and I trained a lot of his people as well. And that's how it began.
Listen to this. You guys have a connection.
Yeah,
so do I, by the way.
I worked for 30 plus years at Guthrie Renker, and we launched Tony Robbins' Personal Power. So we've been to all of his, events, and we actually sort of put him on the map regarding him being on television.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, once he started, teaching passion, that's when I came into his life. And
you're perfect. I could see why you guys connected.
Thank you.
I'll tell you one other thing, and we'll get off Tony. But if you might remember, I did the Silver Foxes with Richard Simmons, right? Richard and the Silver Fox, and now I'm doing his autobiography with Pauly Shore playing Richard Simmons, and his mother, Nikki Robbins, was one of my Silver Foxes. She had not talked to her son in over 12 years. And they both live in California, the whole thing. They had a problem, and she was quite a woman. But when I met her, she told me that she had terminal brain cancer, and she still did the project and everything. And I suggested that I would make contact with Tony. I'd go down with her to a seminar in Pasadena, I think it was. And they agreed to meet each other again on the stage. And I brought those two back together. And she died about 6 months after they got back together.
Wow, that's a happy story. I mean, you would be an amazing therapist just doing that and, making her final time on this earth so special, because let's face it, guys, in the end, what are you going to think about? You're not going to think about your bank account or your profession. You're going to think about the loving memories that you've created with your family, with your lover, with just the beautiful, beautiful things that you've done. And if you haven't started doing that, now's the time to do it.
It's really what's most important.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I believe the meaning of love is learning how to give and receive love, and nobody teaches us that. So that's what I wanted to do. And that's pretty much my legacy, is I want to leave, you know, the planet a more loving place and a more sexy place too.
Wow, how great is that? First of all, that you've conceptualized this, and now you've been doing this for decades, right?
Yeah.
You look like you're 33, so I can't even say that's possible.
You must have really poor lighting.
No, I can see you clearly. I want to know, why is it that us guys, us men, are so fearful and so shut in with certain subjects, especially when we have to be ourselves? We're forced to be ourselves on occasions, and it's so hard, and yet it's so relieving that's why I wanted this show to start. So tell me about why.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment with more conversation, right after a quick word from our sponsors. This is Men Talk 2.
Pilates Pro Chair Max combines the sculpting power of Pilates with easy, effective cardio exercise workout videos. Available on demand anywhere. A Pilates machine designed to help you get a leaner, stronger, and more flexible body. Engineered for all fitness levels, it targets every muscle group with low-impact workouts that deliver the highest results. Work your arms and entire body together or separately, making every workout tailored to your needs. Are you ready to transform your body and elevate your fitness routine from the comfort of your home? Take the first step towards a leaner, healthier, happier you.
Build and shape your glutes in less time. Looking to tone your glutes and improve your overall fitness level? The Booty Bridge is perfect for at-home workouts. This simple device can help you achieve amazing results. Designed for all fitness levels, Booty Bridge is easy to use, so you'll be able to get a great workout even if you're not a fitness expert. The Booty Bridge is portable, so you can take it with you wherever you go and easily fold it to stow away at home. Build a beach-worthy booty. This is Booty Bridge.
All right, we're back. Let's jump right back into the conversation. This is Men Talk 2.
Tell me about why are we so bad?
And why?
And good. I know we're great too.
Why do we have problems having difficult conversations? Probably especially around intimacy and the areas that you specialize in.
Well, I think men can blame their moms for everything.
Or their dads? No.
Well, yeah, why not? But, the mother is the first intimate, safe, loving, hopefully, relationship that men have. So most men will either look for somebody like their mother or somebody the complete opposite of their mother. And, mothers tell, and fathers, by the way, they tell their sons not to cry and that they should be macho and masculine, and, they shouldn't give a woman too much affection or romance, or there's just so many terrible lessons that parents teach their children. And in school, children will basically believe the first thing they hear in the playground.
Right. Or by their mother.
Well, most mothers don't really teach sex education, but some do. Yes.
I don't even mean sex, by the way. I mean, the mother could say something that could be like black magic to a kid. He'll think about that for the rest of his life. It could be an off day. She says, you know what I mean?
Like a put down or something?
Yeah, like a put down, like, oh, something. And it could.
You're right. She could say something, derogatory, like you'll never be anything. And the father could also do the same thing. But most of the men that I see, that I help, they had their negative input by their first lover. So I had one man, his first lover told him that, he was a terrible lover, that his penis was too small, that he was a loser. And this poor man was unable to get an erection after that for years and years and years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
because it's in your head.
So in answer to your question is, you have control of everything that's in your head. Right. So you have to stop any negative self-talk. We know that men want success and great sex and admiration and lots of money. But when it comes to choosing a partner, I don't think men even know this, They don't realize it because unconsciously they don't pick the prettiest woman, the youngest woman, the woman with the most status. No, they pick the woman who makes them feel good when they're together, either in the bedroom, in the boardroom, or in a social setting. That's what men want.
Well, what if the woman, here's the question. What if the woman herself, she's been scarred by her father, say, okay? Or whatever that opposite is. And she comes into the relationship, she does everything you just said, but she's fucked up, okay? She has, she's looking for every detail that you could be doing. You're having an affair when you're not. Or, you know what I'm saying?
I do.
She's perfect, yeah, but she's not.
Well, first of all, nobody's perfect. Nobody on this planet.
Correct.
Look, women, just like men, come from broken families or have had abusive relationships before they met you. So women have issues too. That's why we have therapy. Never try to be your lover's therapist. It doesn't work. But guys who are successful and who have business in the boardroom, I tell them everything's negotiable in the boardroom and in the bedroom. So all you have to do is talk, share your vulnerability. Women love a sensitive man. And be kind to her. If there's
That's very nice that you say that, because growing up, it almost felt like, I'm thinking high school. Women liked the bad boy, the asshole, right? And that the nice guys are going to finish last. But you're saying it's the opposite a little bit.
Well, it's a phase. You're absolutely right. Women do like the bad boy when they first feel their libido and when they first want to have excitement in their life. But trust me, as they get older, they regret it. Every single woman that's come to me who's going through a divorce has said, I wish I had married the nice guy, the guy who treated me with respect. Instead, I went for the asshole who was rich with a fancy car.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, they do. I mean, look at all the models who marry rock stars. And all the television, stars who marry models. And yeah, I mean, look, as humans, we're always going to be attracted to other people. And if you have the chance to meet somebody who's exciting and good looking and wealthy and sexy and hot, why not go after it? But it rarely lasts. Occasionally it does if they're smart, if they know how to communicate. For example, do you know what side of your brain is most prominent, left or right? It's very important to know that for communication, even for erotic talk. You need to know what hemisphere your partner uses the most.
That's a good point, because when I've had my best relationships, it's because I'm more on the creative side of my brain. And when I found a partner that shared that's where you had connection. Whereas if it was the opposite, and they say sometimes opposites attract, I would disagree with that.
So you're saying on the left side of your brain, you have better partners, loving partnerships?
Yes.
And what about if you're a right-sided person?
So the right side is the creative side.
Yeah, it's the right side for me.
Right
Yeah,
side.
I knew what you meant. So if I wanted to, I'm also right-brained actually. But so if I want to have sex with you, I'm going to tell you where I want to have sex, how I want to have sex, what to do before, what I want to do after. I'm going to go on and on and on and be very creative and think that I'm so sexy and super at communicating this. But if you're left-brained, you just want the facts. You just want to know that you're going to get laid, you're going to have a steak dinner, and then afterwards you're going to have the best sex of your life, and then you're going to go to sleep.
So that sounds great, by the way. That would be a nice night for me tonight. But do you think, wow, I mean, that
choked me up right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. But what happens when the left side doesn't meet? I mean, the left side of a guy is not going to meet the left side of a woman, is usually, maybe.
Well, no, that's where negotiation comes in. And by the way, if you caress the right side of a woman, it stimulates the left side of her brain.
Wow.
Right. Emotion will lead to the logic, or if you. Or
there
whatever.
you go.
Right?
Yeah. But these are all reasons why men and women don't always have the compatibility sexually, or even physically or spiritually or emotionally. So there's many factors, and that's one of them. So I teach that. I do a lot with the YPO, Young Presidents Organization, because, they're focused on their business. So their love life falters. And so I want to talk to them in terms that they understand and that they'll find interesting.
So you're going to make conservatives more loving.
Oh, yes.
Oh, thank God.
That's another story.
That's another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, tell me more. Tell us men again. Yeah. We're first of all, I was oblivious to the last one you just said. So that was a huge, my head's even still thinking about that concept. I'll go back to it one more time. If on the right side if somebody's a right and they're matched as a left and a left, is that perfect?
There's
Not
no
perfect.
wrong. There's no perfect. Everything is negotiable. So if you have two right-brained people, I think Elliott and I are right-brained. So we're going to have great sex. But before we have great sex, we're going to go out for dinner. We're going to get a massage. We're going to bake together.
Okay, Ava, I need your number after this.
So we are compatible. And then if he meets another lady who's left-brained, let's say she's an accountant or a lawyer, because left-brain people do like numbers and do like facts. So there are certain professions that, draw left-brain people to that career. So Elliott's going to know that she just wants the facts. So you just tell her how hot she's looking and you can hardly wait to tear her clothes off. Or no,
right.
Gently take it.
You'd be reading each other. You'd kind of read those signals, whether it be left or right.
Right. I mean, just like when you read somebody, if they're primarily audible, they like words, or kinesthetic, they like to hug, or visual, as most men are. These are things we learn about each other when we first go out. All that curiosity is amazing flirtation and seduction.
And that's what you're all about with your Loveology classes or your theory, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's other things which are much more serious, like a mismatched sex drive. I mean, that's a tough one.
Which could mean like one has a high drive, one has a low drive, or timing and that sort of thing.
Yeah, usually one person wants to have sex 5 times a week and the other one wants it once a month. And that's complicated, but still negotiable.
Well, let me get back to this left and right for a second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
For me, I hear the definition. What if you're both left-sided and right-sided?
I love that. You go both ways. That's fantastic. That's great.
Put that on your profile, David. You go both ways.
Yeah.
Put that on there.
I mean, we do use both sides of our brain. It's just that we usually like one a little bit more than the other, but there's no reason why we can't train both sides of the brain. That's a good question. I like that.
Well, I think there's truth to it.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to the next thing you were talking about. I'm sorry I took you off track, but that was my last question. I'm right and left.
So the mismatched sex drive is probably the number one problem that couples come to see me about.
Okay.
But what's interesting is this. I'll interview them separately. I'll give you an example. So I was with the gentleman and he said, my wife doesn't want to give me oral pleasure anymore. And I said, okay. I said, well, did she do it before you got married? And he said, yes, all the time. And I said, interesting.
I hear this a lot.
Yeah. So I said, do you know whose fault this is? And he said, hers. I said, no, it's your fault. Because you're not asking for it. You're not telling her how good she is at it. You're not praising her. You're not romancing her. You're not doing all the things that she needs to give you the pleasure that you want.
But is she turned on? Is she wet? Is she ready for
She's
regular
lazy.
sex?
She's just lazy. It happens sometimes. in the first 6 months, you're in lust with each other, and some people go for a year of lust, and then slowly it fades into a deeper love, but less lust. And then when you get married, you feel like your family, less lust. So
Right.
you have to maintain.
But you have to really work at it, right? And there,
Dean,
and
you may want to
it's not.
stay here and listen.
It's really not. You know, it's not her fault. You've got to find a way of bringing that out in her, right?
Right. And maybe you have to perform oral pleasure on her first.
So in order for you to get oral sex, first you have to go down on her and show you're willing to do it.
Absolutely.
And what if she clearly says no? She goes, I don't want that.
But she's done it before. Why would she say no if she's done it before? You have to tell her how good she is at doing it. You have to tell her, I fantasize about you doing this, and it turns me on so much.
Wow.
And she's going to want to please you when you praise her.
You know, so it's reverse psychology?
Oh, of course it is. 100%. Yes.
100%. So
yes.
Even if you don't believe it.
Yes. I mean, I always say to women, if you want your man to do something, just make sure he thinks it's his idea. Just plant the seed.
Works every time, by the way.
It does.
Because you're not emasculating the guy, right?
Exactly. You're not putting him down. You're not blaming him. You know, men want to be appreciated, and women do. One of my recommendations is to give each other compliments every day, but you need to give an emotional compliment, an appreciative compliment, a physical, and a sexual. They're 4 totally different compliments.
Wouldn't you say the most erogenous zone is really your mind, the brain?
Of course.
Has to start there.
It does. And a lot of women, they want to know how to get into a juicy frame of mind when they've been with kids all day, or they've been working all day, or they're stuck in traffic. So we have to find out, what is that? Same for you guys. How do you get, turned on? How do you get horny after a really tough day?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm easy. I just need a piece of chocolate.
There you go.
I love chocolate.
I give you a treat and you'll do it.
I will. But
it's
other
a
people,
Pavlovian response.
Yes, it is. Indeed.
Yeah, but you're easier that way, and you're obviously more talented in understanding the scenario. So, of course, that's already a cheat. But when you go back to the emasculation, really the guy starts thinking, well, I'm going to just get sex elsewhere, or I'm not going to have sex. If you're married or you're together and you don't have sex, what does the relationship become at that point?
I love that question. Look, every man listening is going to have a disability in the bedroom. And by the way, so is every woman. You don't have to keep having sex if, for example, you're sick. And I talk from personal experience. My late husband died of cancer.
Right.
So, and he was such a sexy, passionate, powerful man. And I watched him get sicker and sicker, weaker and weaker. But I made sure that we still had a lot of intimacy. He wasn't strong enough to have intercourse, but we caressed, we cuddled, we massaged, we talked, we whispered, we kissed.
Right.
Some people don't need to have a lot of sex to be happy.
Right.
And some people do.
Right.
And
But
sometimes that intimacy could be in little things, right? That knowing glance that you give one another, right? Those kinds of things. The way the kisses, the hugging, it doesn't have to always be, penetration.
No. I mean, do you know that there's about 10 different kinds of touches that women crave for? A lot of men don't even fathom what they could be. So, for example, what's a healing touch from a man's perspective? What would you say is a healing touch?
That we would give to the woman? Or that we...
Yes.
I would touch her face. I would touch her back. I would give her a massage.
Reaching for her hand and touching her arms.
I would kiss her parts of her body.
Well, you both get an A because it's a unilateral touch. Yeah, and it's touching a part of her body that's not sexual usually.
Exactly.
So yeah, a healing touch actually turns a woman on. And so does a friendly touch, which would be a hug. And so does a romantic touch, which would be a little tiny kiss. And so does a sensual touch, which is maybe slow dancing. And then there's a sexual touch, which could be sucking on her nipples. And then there's an erotic touch. I mean, there's so many different levels of touch.
Pickleball is not one of those, right?
Sorry?
Pickleball is not one of those.
Pickleball. Well, it could be to her or to
Well,
you.
I have read that there's nude pickleball.
Well, I don't know if I want to see that.
No, that's the legit.
Depends who you're playing with.
That's legit.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment with more conversation, right after a quick word from our sponsors. This is Men Talk 2.
Pilates Pro Chair Max combines the sculpting power of Pilates with easy, effective cardio exercise workout videos. Available on demand anywhere. A Pilates machine designed to help you get a leaner, stronger, and more flexible body. Engineered for all fitness levels, it targets every muscle group with low-impact workouts that deliver the highest results. Work your arms and entire body together or separately, making every workout tailored to your needs. Are you ready to transform your body and elevate your fitness routine from the comfort of your home? Take the first step towards a leaner, healthier, happier you.
Build and shape your glutes in less time. Looking to tone your glutes and improve your overall fitness level? The Booty Bridge is perfect for at-home workouts. This simple device can help you achieve amazing results. Designed for all fitness levels, Booty Bridge is easy to use, so you'll be able to get a great workout even if you're not a fitness expert. The Booty Bridge is portable, so you can take it with you wherever you go and easily fold it to stow away at home. Build a beach-worthy booty. This is Booty Bridge.
All right, we're back. Let's jump right back into the
I have
conversation.
read that there's nude pickleball.
Well, I don't know if I want to see that.
No, that's the legit.
Depends who you're playing with.
That's legit.
But this is where you share your boundaries and your fetishes and your fantasies.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Now, what if it's more of an opposite? I read, because I did some research, I wanted to talk to you and just curious. I've been reading about all kinds of sexual
Don't look at his browser history.
Anyway, bottom line is there's something I read and it's called, it's a disorder of the genitalia where a man or a woman can get immediately aroused. A woman would get totally sopping wet and I don't even know if this is right for both, and I don't even know if the article's correct. Are you familiar with that?
What do they call it?
They call it genitalia arousal disorder, something along those lines.
Right, that's exactly. It's a very unpleasant situation.
Painful,
it is a disorder.
especially
Painful.
for women.
Yeah, it's awful. It's not
They begin
something.
masturbating at a very young age.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's one of those disorders that is not sexy. It's painful emotionally, physically, sexually, and that person just needs serious therapy. They might even need psychiatry and medication to help them. There are certain things that can enhance your orgasm or trigger an orgasm, which is different. So, for example, I had a client who would orgasm every time she smelled cinnamon. So her workers knew this, and every day they would bring cinnamon rolls, and she would be so uncomfortable, but she was so orgasmic. And at first it was amusing to everybody, but then she came to see me, and actually what I did was I did some hypnosis to find out what happened to her, why she had this trigger. And we discovered that she was actually molested in a bakery, and she could smell the cinnamon during the molestation.
That's horrible.
That's wild.
Yeah, our smell it's in the limbic brain. It's the strongest sense of all of our senses, the most primitive. So that's another reason, guys, why women are attracted to you and why you have chemistry with whomever, because of the pheromones. We all have pheromones in our hair, under our arms, where we sweat from, certainly.
Smells, your senses, any of your senses, even maybe a fart or something might turn somebody on. Who knows?
I've never heard
I
that.
don't know. It's like, hey, you want to see my Dutch oven? I'm not sure I want to say yes to that.
Well, I have heard
Nobody
that
knows that word.
chimpanzees are turned on by each other's farts.
There you go. And crap, right? That's shitting. I mean, that's a whole different fetish. I'm not talking about.
Yeah.
But fetish.
Tell me you don't throw that at your partner.
Exactly. But there are people who have fetishes and they don't tell their partner until after they're married and a few years into the relationship, after they have kids. And then the partner doesn't want to,
Right.
she doesn't want to engage in this fetish. And there are many different kinds. There are some fetishes where people want to be dressed up as babies, and others where they want their toes to be sucked. And there's many. Some are less harmless, and others are, they're not, as long as they're not illegal, I think anything goes. And as long as you don't hurt somebody or yourself, we're entitled to have fetishes.
And that's where having open communication is good, because that's where these things can get discussed.
Totally. Yeah, you can have like a fantasy game where you all write down, you both write down all your fantasies, and then you put them into different piles. Like you both want to turn these fantasies into reality. And then these other ones, you just want to keep them as erotic fantasies that you talk about during sex. So yeah.
What about getting over, like you're talking about Elliott, and it's very, I'm listening to you, and I'm so sorry that, but what more perfect person than you to be taking care of somebody that you yourself loved and admired, and vice versa. I mean, what a beautiful.
Oh, no, that's obviously the epitome of real love and real unconditional love.
So
right.
After that, after he passed away, now I know that you're with February 23rd, right?
Yes.
And how's that going? Like after such a big part of your chunk of your life. And
well, it's interesting because I'm at the point in my life where I wouldn't want somebody like my late husband.
Mm-hmm.
I want somebody the opposite.
Uh-huh.
Now, why is that?
Well, I like being in control now. It's really fun.
Yes, it is.
And my partner lives my life, which is fantastic.
Wow. So he's submissive.
Not really submissive. No. So I manifested Jeff. He is a nurturing, loving person who doesn't drink a lot, doesn't take drugs, and he's only 1 year older than me. That's all I wanted to manifest. Wow. Nothing more or less.
Okay.
He is loved by his family. He's not as career oriented as I was or am still. I don't have the conversations with him that I had with Peter, but he helps me. He improves the quality of my life, and I'm happy. I'm great. Really happy. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah, I think that's.
And I know Elliott would be happy too. Right?
It's nice to be in control of your life and to make another person happy. It's, every man that I've ever met has said to me, I just want to make my wife happy, but I don't know what she wants. She doesn't tell me exactly what she wants, what she needs.
And then you really have to speak up for that. That's where men are failing, right?
Exactly.
That's why men don't talk.
That's why they're not talking. Right?
But what about when you're there for a while? Like say I'm married for 20 years, or and the kids go off, and suddenly you're basically alone or together for the first time, and there's no excuses anymore. And then you don't really, like, you're climbing to bed and you probably think, yeah.
Well, then you've grown apart. We're either going to grow together.
How do you get back together again? Do you still love each other? Like, you don't want to get divorced. There's still a couple of kids, maybe, that are still 17 years old, or, whatever it is. And you don't like the idea of divorce. You also don't want to give up half of your money. Maybe, you know, there could be a couple of factors here.
Well, that's
And
when
you're insecure about it.
You're right. The men practice financial infidelity as well as sexual infidelity. The ones who, the really successful men who don't want to get a divorce. And, you know, the woman, some of them don't want a lot of sex. They're perfectly happy at home and living in a beautiful place and meeting their friends, doing charity work, whatever. It can work. It just depends on what your deal breakers are. So when couples come to me, it's because one person usually overstepped a boundary they didn't know existed. So again, when you start getting together with somebody that you know is a keeper, you want to talk about fantasies, boundaries, deal breakers, sexual turn-ons and turn-offs, and have that curiosity, that excitement, so that you're always looking forward to seeing that person. And if you still love them 20 years ago, just go back to that. Do all the things you did and be curious again, because we do change as we get older. I mean, I like to do things I didn't like to do 20 years ago. And so do
like
others.
being in control.
That's one of them, yes. Yes.
Right.
But I do it very nicely. I mean, I don't demasculinate my partner.
Right, exactly.
We exchange power, which is beautiful. That's what we need to do, is exchange our power in and out of the bedroom.
Okay.
Love
good.
that. Love
Because
that.
outside of the bedroom, maybe that's all he desires, is that he's in power outside. And when he's in the bedroom, maybe he wants to finally give up some control.
This is true. Yeah. And a lot of men are happy to do that. I think so a woman wants a man. I've discovered this after my husband died, that every woman wants a man who has a nurturing father figure. So he's protective. Every woman wants to be protected in some way.
Right.
And then every woman really enjoys a man who is still a mischievous little boy. Well, not little boy, big boy, but naughty. Women
but still
love
like the little boy.
Right,
Naughty
that's so
boy.
for me. Okay, go
playful
on.
and naughty, you know. And then finally, most women want a man with a slow hand to seduce.
I've heard that song before.
Yeah, there you go. It should be a song. It is a song. Yeah.
It is a song.
It is a
It
song.
is.
It's a slow hand. What's the song? He knows everything about this. You know what I'm talking about?
The Eric Clapton song?
There you go. I knew it. He would know it.
But it's true. And then I think we talked another time about, you know, what men want. They want a woman who also is nurturing, like their mother was perhaps, or mother wasn't, so that we can take good care of you when you're sick. Like, I didn't know I was going to be such a great caregiver, but I was, and I loved it. And sometimes I would dress up in a sexy nurse's outfit just to make him smile. So we want the same thing. We want to, you know, we all want, that's what's so crazy. We all want the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which
just
is
have
how
to
you
talk
get
to-
there,
have to
right?
talk to each other.
Communication.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Wow.
Completely.
We have a lot to unpack. I know it's late, so we don't want to keep you, but I will ask you this, and Elliot and I spoke about this, is maybe you'll become a regular on our podcast, because you would just be so awesome, and we could do it this way.
There's
right?
so many topics that we'd like to go.
I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I have in my brain just the right and left. I'm still there. Okay. So there's a lot of things going on, but maybe you
I would
consider
love that. You know, I had a show called Sex Drive with my dearest friend, Jackie Zeman, who I just
Oh, I love Jackie.
Oh,
She
was
passed
lucky.
away.
I worked with her. She
Yeah.
did Pilates
She
for
did
us.
Pilates, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
She was a
She
neighbor in
passed-
Malibu,
She lived with me in Malibu. I loved her. She was
and
like
she
my
got divorced.
sister.
It was really tough divorce. That's when we shot her. It must have been 2006.
I think, yeah.
I just loved her so much. And we would take questions, sex questions, and we had so much fun together. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I would love to be on your show and help men
Good.
to empower them. And
Right?
And be able to be better
Well-
communicators to their female partners, and you know, in and outside of the bed.
Right.
so right. Well, this
Well,
was great, you guys. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. And by the way, just in my opinion, an evolved man today, He's strong yet sensitive. He's confident yet compassionate, and he knows that masculinity is about not about domination. It's about integrity and emotional intelligence, just like you two guys. So thank you for doing this.
That,
Yes.
Yes, love that.
It's so nice to see you. It's been way too long, and thank you for even waiting for us, and you're so brilliant. I'm blown away. What a way to end the night.
Thank you, Ava. I really appreciate you. Thank you very
Ava.
much.
I'll talk to you soon, and we'll be in touch. And I would like you on the next go around. We'll talk some more about some other ideas.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sweetie.
Thanks, Ava. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
2, 1. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just a man and your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist nor a doctor, and this podcast is not intended to take the place of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or professional. Got it? Good. I'll see you in the next episode of Men Talk 2 MT2.